Contingency Contract Season 3. Or, if we're counting all of them, it's probably Season 15, 16-ish? Anyways, here are my tags, and here is my suboptimal 620 clear. So we're starting with the skill 3 Innis binding the first enemy, giving enough wiggle room for a storm-related kill, and after setting up a weedy play to move the beacon inside the blue box, attracting the very abusable Originium Storm towards there as well. After that, we just, wait a bit. And the storm will get larger, absorbing all of the Originium pollution, reaching that maximum size. Basically, we're letting the storm do most of the work. And at some point during that AFKing, Inish's Shadow Sentry is moved, slowing down the movement speed of the shield guys when they eventually pass through, giving enough time for the buffed up storm to claim more victims without operator intervention. Including the storm relocators who attempt to move our storm beacon, but they can't really do that, because it's inside of the unreachable space that is the blue box. But what does require a bit of interaction are the the sword guys. They require dropping operators to sacrifice, causing them to stand in place, prolonging how long they're in the storm for. Just enough for them to go down to. And eventually the storm attracting beacon is pushed to the right to prepare for the final bit. You may have also noticed that I've been letting a couple of chimeras through. I do have 3 lives for this thing because I really did not feel like going through the trouble of getting rid of them. The ones that stand still will eventually lose all their health, but the ones that walk by, I do have to tank it. And I will have to eliminate the final one myself to prevent myself from losing, but that's for after most of the map is taken care of. So there is one enemy, the one singular enemy that gave me the most grief in my clear, and it wasn't the last Chimera. That had Nymph and Theresa both on skill 2, one who sends the Chimera backwards and the one to bind while the other recharges her skill again. The real problem was this frickin' floating cup thing. I eventually brute forced the solution, switching out operators when their big damage skill runs out. Managing both the DPS race and the Chimera stalling did take a moment to get used to, especially when I'm flipping back and forth between the plays, but eventually, like all the other contingency contracts before, when you know you've got it, it feels great, and it was just making sure I didn't mess up the lengthiest last bit. And yeah, that's it. That's the clear. Hopefully yours is a little bit more clean than mine.